All right, guys, welcome back to another video of Shaman J. Today we're going to be looking at the Pixel 9 Pro XL. I picked this up yesterday at Best Buy. I pre-ordered through Best Buy. I told you in another video that I got my Pixels through Best Buy. And my Pixel 9 Pro XL didn't show ready for pickup until late in the evening. It was pretty strange. It just kept saying pre-order, pre-order, pre-order. And I got it on the day of pickup, surprisingly enough. So last night I went over and picked it up about late in the evening time, and I've been using it ever since. So I didn't feel the need to do an unboxing because, well, there's nothing in the box. Unfortunately, there's no charging brick in the box. And it's just kind of one of the, I'm not going to beat that horse up, but the fact remains is that, you know, companies keep increasing the pricing and they keep taking things away. But this is what it is. Again, nothing we can really do about it. The only way we can take care of it is to stop buying the products. And the chances of that happening is probably slim to none if you're a tech head. So here it is, the porcelain color for my Pixel 9 Pro XL. This is the 256 gig model. And since I went through Best Buy, that's the highest I could get was 256 gigs. So I guess Google kind of limited the 512 gigs and, 1 terabytes to them only. So it's cool. Sale's a sale. 256 gigs should be enough. I have 1 terabyte on some of my other phones, so it'll be fine. But nonetheless, this is the porcelain color. Now, I went with the porcelain color. Once I saw the hazel in person, I like it. But the hazel is set for my Pro model. So, but then I saw this porcelain and I was like, I bet that's going to be hot. So I didn't see this in person, but I'm glad I went with the porcelain because it looks really nice in person. This porcelain, compared to last year's porcelain, let me show you here. Here's my porcelain Pixel Fold from the previous gen. It's darker on this one. This newer porcelain still has the polished rails the same, but the color itself is a little bit darker on the previous generation porcelain that they brought out. And it might be kind of difficult to see on video, but I'm sure you can tell at certain angles, this is closer to white. So they did a good job with this year's porcelain. I like the previous gen's porcelain as well. I think this is just a matter of, let me take this watch off. I think this is a matter of design, why some people might feel like this is more premium. Unfortunately, companies kind of found a way to trick your brain into thinking that you're getting something way more premium, when in fact the previous generation Pixels felt premium, in my opinion. But what they've done here is they've flattened out the sides. And, you have that flat display, which you have to flatten sides all the way around. Flat back, no more curved back. The previous generation Pixel 8 Pro has a curved back. And I'll bring that device in here just a second. But let's focus on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. This hardware is beautiful. Hands down, it's a beautiful piece of hardware. It looks very premium. I think the Pixels are from the previous gen, the 8, again, they've always looked premium to me. But this is what it's working with. So depending on what color you get, one would say it doesn't feel as premium or look as premium, I should say. But they all these feel really good in the hand, and the build quality and design, it's got a little bit more weight to it. So some people account that, or they credit that as premium with a little bit more weight. But it's a good thing. So looking at the screen here, it's beautiful. It's what you expect. We knew we were going to get a nice high resolution display, and we got it. It's a nice 6.8-inch display. It's kind of feels a little bit more rounded than the Pixel 8 Pro. It's so weird. It's just that feel in hand and the design change and the small elements that they made. But screen is beautiful still. Some people don't like the power button up top. I get it. Depending on how big your hands are, you're not going to like the power button up top. But what I dislike about this phone is what I've always disliked about any phone that has polished rails. I don't like the polished rails. They just create fingerprints, and that's just what it is. Which is why I went with this color to help kind of offset that. But nonetheless, hardware and design of this, I'm glad I like the camera module. I think this is a good camera module. My first impressions of this camera module and the first impressions of the camera, I took several photos, and the photo quality is what we think it's going to be. One thing I want to test on here, and meaning these cameras are phenomenal for photos. They just take great photos. I was randomly taking shots around the house. Last night I was laying in bed and I said, I'm just going to take a couple photos. I have like the LED lighting around my TV and stuff like that in my bedroom, and well, pretty much all the TVs have that. But I was laying in bed and I was like, let me take a photo. Let me take 1 or 2 photos and let me just see what they come out looking like in a night shot. And they're beautiful. The colors are represented very well. But Pixels are known for just having the ability to take some of the best photos. This isn't something that's surprising, because even my previous generation Pixels, they all take phenomenal photos. They just got that part right. My concern is going to be video. I'm going to put this phone to the test with some video at some point. I'm going to use it on my car channel, or maybe I'll just use it here. I'll just use this phone to record some content on the channel. And I'll definitely use it to record video of the other Pixels that are coming in that I got. Since another one of them shipped, so I'll be happy to bring you that video as well, my first impression. So the camera's on here, the module, I like it. It's a switch from the previous generation, and I like it. And again, I'll bring the 8 Pro in here, but just want to highlight the 9 Pro XL. It's just a beautiful setup with what they've done. They've capitalized in areas where they should have. This camera module goes back to like that visor style. Like, remember the Nexus 6P? It's nice. It's very nice. It's way better than this ugly module right here. I've never liked this module. I've said that since day one. This is a nice setup. And, it would have been really nice if they'd have done the Pixel 9 Pro Fold like this. Why wouldn't they do it? It's still crazy to me. Big camera module in there. You can kind of see it. Wow, that's a big module inside of there. But nonetheless, the design of this thing is really nice. And I think you're probably going to, really enjoy how this feels in the hand. I'm a no case guy, so that's why I have to order those ultra thin cases. But in the end, I'm rocking with no case, and I'm glad. It's a little slippery, but I could put a skin on the back and that'll help a little bit. But the overall design and the way this is put together, I like it a lot. Now I want to go ahead and show you the speakers on here and the screen. Let me get this loaded up for you. All right, now I've got this at full brightness, and I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and I'm also going to show you, you'll be able to listen to the speakers just a little bit.
All right, guys, it is time. It's time to go wide. All right, now seriously, it's very windy out, so hopefully my microphone is doing a good job of canceling out all the sound, the wind that is. All right, so let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about how much I paid for this car.
All right, so one thing I've noticed about some of my Pixel devices, and this one is no exception, it has a bright display, but only when it's turned to full max. Other phones that I have just have brighter displays at half or less. And, this phone is beautiful. The screen is beautiful, but this is full brightness. Yeah. So let me play an HDR video real briefly here. Hold on a second. All right, you can see here it's at full brightness, and this is an HDR video. This is a beautiful display, especially when viewing HDR content. And so that offset though is that this phone just doesn't get as bright as other phones at half brightness. This is full brightness, and even in HDR content. Now over video, I know you just really can't tell too well, but if you have more than one device, and you have you can compare it to the Pixel, you're going to see that the Pixels just don't get as bright. With this particular Pixel, just doesn't get as bright. And I kind of experienced that with my other Pixels, but you get used to it after a while. But then when you go to a device that has a much brighter display, some of my Samsung displays, all of my Samsung displays just are brighter than the Pixel display here when testing. So speakers are good. Play this one here.
The bigger display than this device here is in a little bit of a smaller body.
So speakers and everything on here are great. The screen is beautiful. You're going to get a beautiful viewing experience and media consumption and music. Now that's a video recorded with my voice or whatever. So, it's going to sound probably you're not going to get all these different tones and levels. But when you listen to music and you want to blast this, or you're looking to listen to a video that has a lot of music in it, you're going to love these speakers. They are plenty loud, and I'm really happy with them. So another area that I focused on, because some people ask me questions that kind of strange to ask at an unboxing. So I didn't do an unboxing like I said before. I just started using this. And let me tell you, the battery life so far, impressive. I haven't charged the phone to 100 yet. I charged it to 90 because I was on the move and I needed to put my SIM card in. I wanted to start using it. But I've gotten 4.5 hours of screen on time since I last charged it, and it was at 90%, and that was yesterday. And I still have 39% left, and I predict I'll get probably roughly 6.5, 7 hours of screen on time, maybe 6.5 hours. I could probably squeeze another 2 hours for sure out of here. But I think this phone is going to be really good on battery. I'll probably be able to go a day and a half and get about 7 hours of screen on time with this particular phone, because it has just over a 5,000 milliamp hour battery inside of this thing, and it is actually really good. So yesterday I pulled down 2.5 hours. Today I've got 2 hours and 15 minutes, and today I've got roughly 2.5 hours. So battery life, I don't think you'll have a problem with this at all. I think you're going to really enjoy the battery life on here. And like I spoke of before, you know, the cameras on here are really nice. When you're taking a photo of yourself, I didn't do anything by default. It just kind of went to talking to me about who's in the photo, like how many faces, and you don't have to press the shutter button anymore, especially when you're using the rear camera to take a photo of yourself. It just takes a photo, and it's really cool. I mean, it is one of the coolest things. It just kind of reads it out to you, and it tells you how many faces are in the photo, how to position yourself. And I like that. I like that photo. I like that function, because that way I don't have to hit the shutter button. I can stay focused on trying to keep the phone steady, and it has optical image stabilization, obviously, so it's going to be a very nice photo, and I just really can appreciate that function. Now, still, with that comes some gripes. Google still don't have 4K portrait video. They're sticking with this blur setting here, and while it's good, we need 4K, and we need some real portrait video, period. It's just that simple. We need real portrait video. But when you get into the settings here, you've got night sight, panorama, and there you go. And you got your regular portrait videos. You got the Add Me function. The Add Me function is, you know, borderline creepy, but it is what it is. And you got your action pan. But, you know, I typically take regular photos and portrait photos, and this is what you have to work with. So let's go into settings here. So mine is set to 50 megapixel photos. I just leave it there because I want the best photos, and that's for the rear camera. So I suggest you set yours to 50 megapixels as well. I think you'll really appreciate, you know, the quality. The regular setting on here, the general setting is fine. If you have it here for the 12 megapixel, but I say leave it on 50. You'll be surprised at some of these photos that you can actually print out and like use, like put them on your wall. It's pretty nice. As you can see here, I don't have a timer countdown on anything for the photos or anything like that. As soon as I open the camera, it just starts counting down and says, "Hey, listen, yeah, here's what you got in frame." And so it's called guided frame right there. It uses audio cues, vibrations, visuals to let you know when your faces are framed correctly for a photo. A photo will be taken automatically, or you can press the shutter button. That is really cool. And you also have the palm timer as well. Basically, you can take a selfie from a distance by showing your palm and starting a photo. Now, this isn't something that's new, but it is really cool to see that Google's integrating a lot of stuff into their cameras now. But I suggest that you use guided frame. It is really going to save you a ton of time taking a photo. I really like it. That came set default, and I like it a lot. I did go in and turn on the grid. I like the grid. So it's really nice. You got your video stabilization, everything, and obviously you got your storage efficiency. But I genuinely like that I can have that feature turned on and get some of the best photos, an easier way to take photos than trying to frame myself if I want to take a photo of myself by myself. And I know that's going to be helpful for people with disabilities. That's genuinely what it's targeted for, I believe, according to Google's press event. I think that's what they're originally going for, like a person that might have some visual impairment or just any kind of impairments. That's going to be very beneficial to them. So praises to Google for putting that on there. And even in consumers that don't have any kind of visual impairments or just any impairments or not as many as others, it's actually very functional. So good job on that, Google. So overall, my first 24 hours with this thing, or just under 24 hours, I won't call it, just under 24 hours, my first impressions, this thing is what we thought it would be. Now, let me bring in the 8 Pro. Here's the 8 Pro. And, I get why some people might think that, this is more premium. You got a different visor on the band back there for the camera module. Ultimately, it's the same thing, just kind of in a different casing on the back. Let's do this here. Let's see. Pretty much almost the same size. You look at the camera modules on here. It's just they took away all the edging and just separated it. You go on the bottom here, the SIM tray is now on the bottom instead of being on that side right there. And the power button is up even higher now. Since they've moved the camera module, like made it shape different, they moved the power button and the volume rocker up. Why they would do that, I don't know, but they did. There's your 5G antenna still in the same spot, microphone there. And then on this side, again, they moved the SIM tray from here to the bottom. But ultimately, you've kind of got the same thing here. So you don't see a slot for the microphone. You see a separate slot for the microphone, I'm sorry. And your SIM tray is here. But this is really just a microphone slot in there. It wasn't like an extra speaker or whatever. The speaker was in the front there on the screen, but ultimately the same. So, you're looking at a nice updated hardware setup here from Google. Also, the G on the back is a lot bigger. And when you start up the phone, for those that noticed, when you started up your Pixel 9 Pro XL, didn't you notice a different animation for the G, the Google setup when it starts up? I thought that was pretty cool. If you haven't noticed it, you might want to reboot your phone and check it out. I think you're going to say, oh, snap, I do see it now. But there is a new animation for the Google logo and everything. And overall, folks, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the 9 Pro XL. The battery life is going to be good. I know it is. And I can just imagine what the 9's battery is going to be like. If this one is pulling down some pretty good battery to start, typically I don't have good battery when I first get a phone out of the box. But this one, it definitely is doing great so far. And I'm not going to charge it. And, I don't charge my phones until they start to get to like 20% or less. And I'll see, what the battery life is looking like right there. I'll take some screenshots if I can remember to. But overall, wanted to kick this thing off again. If you were looking for an unboxing, I didn't see. There's nothing in the box, folks. I mean, this is the way they gave it to me, and it's just not an unboxing experience anymore. No charging brick is in here. And I often wonder back in the day why were unboxings so fun to watch. I enjoyed watching them. You enjoyed watching them. We're just taking out a charging brick and a phone. I don't know. But nonetheless, this is going to probably be a good experience for the XL model. While this is not going to be my official daily driver, probably going down the line, I'll move this to a different SIM slot because I'm going to be running all Pixels on all lines coming up here pretty soon. So I'll show you another unboxing, or not an unboxing, but I'll give you my first impressions of another Pixel that's coming. That's pretty much here. I just need to show it to you next week when I can get it out of the box. It'll be out for delivery this weekend, I think, or something like that. And so next week, look for an unboxing, or not an unboxing. I keep saying unboxing. I'm used to saying unboxing. Looks for my first impressions on the Pixel 9. And then after that, I'll bring you probably my official daily driver. Is going to be switching from the Z Fold 6 to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I think that aspect ratio is going to be really good. And depending on how that goes, folks, what my experience with the 9 and the 9 Pro Fold, I might just cancel my order on the 9 Pro because it seems a little redundant. I'll have 3 phones with 6.3-inch displays. And so I don't see the purpose of having the Pro when I have this one and it does everything the Pro does, and it's got a bigger battery and a bigger screen and everything. And I still have the 9 and the 9 Pro folded. Those two are probably going to be so intriguing to me that I might just cancel my order for the 9 Pro, but who knows? We shall see how things work out. If some deals come up or some really good offers come, maybe I'll still buy one. I still have all these Best Buy gift cards, so I technically could just cancel my order and just get it from Best Buy. And actually, that's probably what I should do. Just cancel my order through Google and just get it through Best Buy and just use the gift cards. That might be a plan. I might work that out then. I forgot about my gift cards. Anyway, it's your man Jay. First impressions of the Pixel 9 Pro XL. A lot to take in. I'm excited about it. I'm going to continue to use this until my Pixel Fold 9 Pro comes on launch day, because it says I'm going to get it on launch day, and the 9 will actually be on my third SIM card, but it's going to be getting used. I use all 4 of my lines. I just only carry 2 when I walk out of the house. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Just under 24 hours. This is impressive. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.